Good morning, guys. Hi, today we're going to talk about writing, and we're going to talk about arguing, and we're going to talk about mixing those two ideas together, right? So, who's had an argument before, right? Who's had like a big old argument, right?
We have.
Right, you guys have, because you're in middle school, right? You argue in middle school. It's what happens, right? And you like being right, right? You like being right. You like proving what you're saying is right. And you write stuff in school, right? I'm sure you guys have written stuff before. And today we're going to boil all that down into one idea, right? We're going to boil that down into one argument, one thesis statement, right? One thesis. So we're going to talk about a thesis. We're going to answer one like really huge question today, okay? Right? We're going to talk about cats versus dogs.
Ooh,
right?
Good question.
Good question, isn't it? I am a cat person. I don't know how you guys feel. Cat people, dog people.
Dogs.
That's all right. I'll forgive you guys this time. But Natasha, why do you like dogs?
My dog is really fluffy, and so he's fun to pet, and he also likes to play fetch.
All right, those are two really good reasons to like dogs, right?
Yeah.
So let's take a step back. What was the question again?
Why do you like
Cats
dogs?
or dogs?
Cats or dogs.
Cats or dogs, right.
Yeah.
So that's the first step, right? You guys read the question, right? Normally it'd be written down for you on a paper, but I'm talking to you right now. So you read the question, right? Right here, it's cats or dogs, right? The next step is you answer your question, right? Your answer was?
Dogs.
Dogs, right?
Yeah, dogs
the next
are better.
step is answer your question, right? And that's going to be the big part of your argument, right? That's the most important part, right?
Yeah.
Is what you say. And the next most important part, because they're all really important, is why, right? And why do you say you like dogs again?
My dog is really fluffy, so
Mhm.
and he's fun to pet, and he plays fetch.
Right, right. Those are all really important reasons to like dogs, right? You guys agree?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So what you're doing there is what we call in the business citing evidence, right? Because those reasons, right? That's called evidence why her answer is right. So we're citing there, right? It's called cite, right? That's the word spelled with a C, which is kind of weird. And then let's take that, right? That's by itself, that's a really good answer, right? If you're just like talking with one of your friends, that would do it, right? That would do it. You feel pretty good about that.
Mm-hmm.
But let's take that another level deeper, right? Let's take that just from saying why and say why this stuff is good, right? Say why it's good that your dog is fluffy. Say why this matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So let's extend that a little bit, right? So Natasha, right? It's good that your dog, you like that your dog is fluffy, right? And you like that your dog plays fetch, right? Why is that good for your dog, right? Why does this show that dogs are better than cats? Bring it on home.
Because my dog and I can play together, and it makes him happy, and it makes me happy.
Right. And happiness is good, right?
Yeah.
Right. Happiness is good,
Yeah.
right? I know it kind of sounds silly to have to say that, but it's, when you're writing, it's really important to be as clear as you can be. So even just saying something like, being happy is good is really important. Maybe not in your thesis, but maybe towards the end of the paper, right? So you're going to extend that, right? And really bring that home, right? So that's how a thesis is structured, right? First you read, right? This is how you write a thesis. First you read what your question is. Make sure you see every word in it, right? Because here's just cats versus dogs, but, I'm figuring you're going to see a couple more complicated questions out there. Then you're going to answer that question, right? And don't kind of sit in the middle, right? Pick a side, right? That's the most important thing, right? So what's the first step again?
Read the question.
Right, and then?
Answer it.
Right, and then after that, what do? Right?
Cite your evidence.
Cite your evidence.
Right, because you can't just say what you think, right? That's just an opinion, right? And that is great. It's great that you have an opinion, but that's not what we're dealing with here. You've got to prove yourself, right?
Okay.
And after that, why does this evidence matter, right?
Okay.
Right, so then what's the next step?
Extend.
Right, what does that spell? Can you guys see the board? Can you guys see what that spells?
Race.
Right, it spells race, right? So when you're sitting there, writing your thesis for a paper, or even just a little paragraph, right? Even like 3 sentences, you can have a thesis at the beginning, right? Look at this structure, right? Look at this structure. So look at this race structure, because a thesis is kind of like a race. It's like a fun little game you're playing, right? Because these 4 steps can go anywhere. I know it from anything you're going to write from now until you're a grown-up. These 4 steps are going to basically cover you. So really keep this idea of a thesis as a race in mind, right? So you're going to read, you're going to answer your question, you're going to cite your evidence, and you're going to extend that, right? And if you do all that, you're going to have some great theses, all right?
All right,
All
teacher
right.
Andy.